to the Punk Rock Horror Podcast, episode number 7. I'm Matt.
I'm Cody. I totally thought you were going to say episode 9. No.
I almost said episode 8, and I was going to be like, fuck! God!
And that's how we're going to start today off.
This is officially our first episode since we've gone live.
Yay!
Woo!
Yay! I'm a 5-year-old.
To which I want to apologize to everyone in episode 5 and 6 for blowing my nose. I didn't realize how bad it picked up the sound, and I'm not going to go up and go on it and fix it. So
we can just deal.
Hope you guys still enjoyed it. But either way, I'm sorry for blowing my nose in all your ears.
Well, I mean, it was also 2 in the morning when we were recording those ones?
I think. It was close enough.
Yeah. So I was like, you're tired, you have a runny nose, and it's like, just blow your nose. Just go ahead. So suck it, Lauren.
Yeah, because Lauren got really mad about it. She's like, stop blowing your fucking nose in the mic. I was like, I was really expecting harsh comments from, listeners. Not my own wife, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. I guess it's, I'll take what I could get.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about found footage films.
Ew.
This time around. And I actually took a vote on Twitter. And we had so many votes.
Oh, yeah?
I took a vote for if people think that found footage horror films should come back or go away, and at a staggering 1 vote, the one dude on our Twitter, I don't even know who it is, said that they don't want it to come back.
Well, we love you for your support.
Thanks, one guy who actually voted on our poll on Twitter. That's how you know we're a big deal.
Yep.
Yeah, how's everything been with you, Cody, since last time?
Pretty good. Had a pretty solid Valentine's Day this year.
That's right, ladies.
Yeah.
Cody's not on the market anymore.
No, I got a lovely girlfriend now.
Missed your chance. This dick is locked and sealed.
Yeah, I can't share that anymore. Just can't free Riri everywhere.
You can unleash the beast.
No, it was really good. I made a picnic for us, and then we went to the park and hung out there, had our picnic, and then we had to go to both of us had to work that night, but we worked at the same place, so we went there, and then I took her out swing dancing after work, so it was a good time.
You actually went. Yeah. You went and danced with actual swings.
I mean, we did play on the swings too. Get out.
Yeah, I just surprised Lauren at work with chocolates and flowers.
Oh, nice.
Because me and you know how to do Valentine's Day right, and every other guy fucking sucks at it.
I know.
I even hate the holiday, and I did it good.
Yeah. It's actually one of my favorite holidays. It's my grandpa's birthday, so that's why I like going all out for it.
Happy birthday, Grandpa Cody. I don't know your grandpa's name.
Valentine.
Is it really?
It's really Valentine.
Oh, shit. Is he not a secret agent?
He's dead. Thanks.
Or that's what he wants the world to know. Because he's a secret agent, Cody. Stop making this awkward.
You made it awkward.
Stop making me look like a bad guy here.
No, it was really good.
You know what, Cody? You're not the only person with dead grandparents. Mine are dead too. Yeah,
but you kept talking about mine.
Well, yeah, because this has a better name.
Valentine.
Yeah. It had to be
my other grandpa's Marty.
Real difference.
I know.
Hello, my name is Valentine. Hi, I'm Marty. How's it going?
The funny thing about it is my grandpa Marty, that's where I get the Russian blood in me. And then my grandpa Valentine is where the German comes from.
Das Valentine.
Das gut, ja.
I can't do Marty in a Russian accent because I can't imagine how you would do
Marty Moshka.
Marty Plitschka.
Yeah, he was also Jewish, so it kind of made sense for Marty.
Yeah. I told you that I might be part Jewish.
Yeah. 2 more things in common.
And I told my mom, I was like, how am I not getting like money from the state? Because we're part Native, Hispanic, and part Jewish. Like, if I find out I'm part black, then no one can tell me I'm racist ever again. Everyone has to forgive me from that Nazi story.
If we find out that you're part black, you're gonna rub it in your wife's face so much.
No. She's gonna get so mad.
Yeah, it's gonna be like.
She's like, so what do you want to eat tonight? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, what do you want? Do you feel like chicken? What's that supposed to
mean? Oh my god.
My people haven't had anything until Black Panther came out.
It's fucking stupid. I haven't seen the movie. I bet it's fantastic.
No,
I see it so badly.
It's a great movie.
But no, I do think, just speaking of Black Panther, I do think it's really funny that everyone's like, it's the first like black-led superhero film by Marvel. This is such like a big thing. I was like, you know what's Marvel's first like actual successful superhero film?
Blade.
You know who is the fucking lead actor? Wesley Snipes.
You know what Wesley Snipes is? Spoiler alert, it's not Asian. He ain't Chinese.
No, he's black. And he portrayed one of the most badass superheroes in Marvel.
I'm so kind of depressed no one ever talks about Kazam. Shaquille O'Neal as a superhero genie.
He's not a superhero genie, he's just a genie. If you want to say another black superhero, it's Steel. Shaq was Steel.
Static Shock.
That wasn't a film. It was animated.
It had a TV film.
Difference.
It had a TV film.
It was still animated.
Why does that have to be a big deal?
That is the biggest deal about it.
Why does that have to be big? I'm just saying,
they're saying live action.
Tell you what, I would be more cool with it once I see a native hero that isn't racist.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Like, probably not Apache Chief.
No, Apache Chief is gonna get. He wasn't even in the G.I. Joe films.
No, from DC.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Remember the dude was like, Keenan Chuck,
and he'd just grow, and then he'd put a satellite in Peter Griffin's house.
And I'm just like, how did this ever get past censors?
Because no one cares about the natives.
I do.
I mean, I do. My grandma was Native American too.
Chiricahua.
I don't remember my grandma's.
Woot woot.
I don't think they said woot woot back then.
I'm saying woot woot for it.
I'm just saying.
I'm proud of my people.
So it's woot woot.
Woot woot.
Woot.
I don't know how to speak Apache. Okay, I don't know any of the lingo.
Okay.
Did I tell you about? I told you about that dude who was like super racist towards me after I told him I was Apache, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the dude. And it was a guy that worked under me. He came up to me and he was like, "Scalper," and I'm just like, I didn't think about it at first because he was a huge baseball fan, so I thought he was like yelling about like scalping tickets or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Dude was a major fucking idiot. So I only talk to him when I ever need to give him something to do.
Yeah.
But he's saying, "Scalper," and then he said, "Boss." I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Scalper." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Didn't your people scalp people back in the day?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, so you're a scalper." And I'm like, "How are you? What?" And in my head, I'm like, "How am I not throwing you through a fucking window for calling me a scalper?" I'm like, you better be fucking glad that I like being a professional in the workplace. Or I swear to God, I would just curb stomp you to oblivion right now.
No, you'd have to scalp him.
Thanks a lot.
I'm just saying.
God. You know what I am? And just like do it in the middle, in front of all of our other coworkers.
Yeah.
And then be like Lucy Liu from Kill Bill, like, now if anybody else has something to say, now would be the fucking time.
I mean, I'd watch that.
Yeah. Do we have anything to address? Oh yeah. So we've gotten some complaints that people are having trouble with our website, leaving comments and whatnot. We're working on it, trying to figure out what's going on with that, trying to fix it up so everyone can do that. Honestly, or else I'm probably going to change the layout of it entirely.
Yeah.
So it's a little easier to access and not all over the place, because I still feel like it's all over the place, doesn't really jump off the page.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working on that. Hopefully by the time this comes out, it'll already be done. Oh, the Patreon. So yeah, we now have that up. If you guys haven't seen it, we do have our Patreon page up and running. If you guys could just go check it out, support us, we'd really appreciate it. We're still new to it. We're not sure,
how it all works and stuff yet.
Yeah, so we're trying to get used to it. And if there's any rewards that you guys want to see that you would like to have offered, aside from what we already have, because we're already wanting to give you guys an extra episode if you're a Patreon subscriber, and those episodes are probably we're gonna be talking about a third movie, or just going over a subject that we could touch on a bit more that we already have, or maybe even start talking about directors.
Yeah, directors, actors. Even like one thing that I'd like to talk about is like the costumers.
Yeah, like special effects.
Yeah, special effects designers and stuff like that. So that's kind of like what we want to use for that third episode. So
yeah,
and then if we get to a point, maybe we can start using third episodes as like interviews or something like that. If we get people we want to interview.
Yeah, which we have someone we're trying to get on here to give an interview. I don't know if we can give anything away.
Nah, but let's save it.
Yeah,
save it.
So. I think everyone's going to like that one. The other thing that we're offering on our Patreon is a private Q&A for all our Patreon subscribers every month. We'll answer you guys' questions, hang out, get to know us a little more. I think one thing I want to think about doing is like doing a Twitch kind of like live stream.
That'd be cool.
With our Patreon subscribers.
Yeah.
And just let them either come on and play video games and be better at us at video games.
Yeah, shame us.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are trash.
Yeah, but we still have a podcast.
But yeah, if there's what we're trying to do with the Patreon is get better equipment, maintain our equipment, be able to afford merchandise, so everyone can get their favorite punk rock horror t-shirt. Because I really want to get a t-shirt with me just like fucking up a table yelling about Bon Jovi.
I'll just be in the corner of it like, oh my god.
But yeah, we're trying.
Sweet steel cow, steel horse.
But and we're also trying, because the Patreon is also going to make it possible for us to go start doing tours.
Yeah.
And come to a town near you and talk about horror, talk about all the things we love, all the things we hate. Share some creepy stories, so on and so forth.
Yeah, and it's just more, like, so we can also just like get to know our subscribers and everybody better.
Yeah,
which is something we'd like to do.
So please, please, please consider, helping us on our Patreon. And again, if there is rewards that you guys would like to see or have any ideas for, we'd love to hear you out. Shoot us in our email at punkrockhorrorpodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, just let us know how we can improve and what you guys would like to see from us.
Yep.
So I think with that all being said, we can finally move on.
Yep. Hop into the episode.
All right. So today we're talking about found footage films, and we're going to talk about
everybody's favorite horror genre,
the most divisive subject
ever.
So, if you don't know what found footage film is, it's a fictional film subgenre in which all or a substantial part of the work is presented as if it were discovered film or video recordings. The events on screen are typically seen through the camera of one or more of the characters involved, often accompanied by their real-time off-camera commentary. So, if you've never seen one, it's basically like Cloverfield, Blair Witch Project, stuff like that.
Yeah. A good example also kind of like... No, never mind. Office wouldn't be like... I was going to say The Office in Parks and Rec, but that's more of like mockumentary stuff.
That's way more like mocku-reality or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, like most of the found footage films are kind of made like mockumentary style because like they talk like they're making a documentary about something. So shit hits the fan, they're like, "Fuck it."
Well, because it blurs the line of like fiction and reality.
Yeah,
and that's what we're gonna like get into, and like that starts us off on our good point of like when this started, and it's pretty much started with Cannibal Holocaust in 1980.
Oh my god, so fucked up.
And then it followed up in 1989 with the McPherson tape, which was created to look like a real UFO.
It's a UFO.
A UFO abduction tape that circulated the UFO community that was known as UFO Abduction. It was a really creative title.
Yeah.
It's so...
super creative.
So back then, there wasn't access to technology. There wasn't access to like internet the way we have it now. So when people saw Cannibal Holocaust, they thought it was real, which the animal killings in that movie are real.
Yeah, that actually happened. And another thing about it is the director wanted people to actually believe it was real, so much so that he paid the actors in it that die off and everything.
Yeah.
He paid them all to stay silent, and
it wasn't until he was taken to court that
they're going to try him for murder, and they're like, so either these people show up on this date or you're going to jail. I
just want to be there for that phone call. I need you to come in.
Well, he had a hard time finding him because he pretty much told them to go into hiding and stuff like that for at least a year. Yeah. And so, he finally tracked him down. He was like, you need to come here. I'll pay for your plane ticket or wherever you are.
I don't want to get raped to jail.
Yeah. And, but he still, I don't remember if he actually served time, but him and the crew got charged for animal cruelty. And that's where, that's actually the movie that spawned animal cruelty things for movies. Yeah. Because, animal cruelty was a big issue for, Ben-Hur. And all those early movies.
There was another old western where a ton of horses got injured or died, and
Cannibal Holocaust was the final straw for that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, because it was surreal. No one has seen it until then, and it to this day it's still kind of rough to watch.
That poor turtle.
Yeah, that they cut off a turtle's head. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, they shoot a monkey point blank with a shotgun.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah, it's a messed up movie. And then it died off for a while, and then it had a new resurgence with the Blair Witch Project. Yeah, because there was a lot of rumors going around that was also real, and and again, it was back in 1999. We were wee lads then.
Well, and that's what lit it. That's what started the whole found footage, to get on track.
Yeah, and it's because their marketing was really good too, and and it was also another reason why I think most found footage films were made, for up and coming horror directors and actors and stuff like that, was because it was cheap. Yeah, really, really cheap.
Well, just the budget for the McPherson tape was $6,000, a little over $6,000, and that's it. And that compared to fucking Daybreakers or Freddy Krueger movies, is
millions.
Yeah, it's pocket change at that point. Yeah. Or even a James Cameron movie.
Well, I mean, yeah. Jesus Christ. No, a fucking Michael Bay film.
Oh, God. We need all the explosions. I need tits everywhere. Why isn't there enough American flags?
Well, we're never going to show them. But, that's one thing that I actually liked about found footage is because they're more cheaply made, I always felt like they had to tell a better story. They really had to play a good story, and they had to do better acting for it. Because there wasn't, a whole lot of room for retakes and stuff like that in the early days of found footage film, the Blair Witch Project and stuff.
Well, let's take it back to the Blair Witch Project. How I was saying, how it blurs the line of fiction and reality. Because back then, the internet was still it wasn't what it was today. We still had dial up the nobody knew to check Wikipedia or anything like that. So everyone believed this was real. I mean, even on the IMDb page back then, the actors were said to be presumed dead. Yep. Yeah. That's why it started so much controversy, because people believed it. People believed it was real. They had no reason not to, because they couldn't find any of the actors. They couldn't find the creators. So it was just an ominous website, and that was all. That was the only connection they had until it came out that it was fake. Yeah. Yeah. And then and also what Blair Witch did really well that a lot of people have a hard time with hitting the genre is that you can't connect with who's holding the camera. No. But the person who was holding the camera in that one showed herself. She showed how terrified she was at the end.
Oh, yeah. that scene when she has snot coming down her nose and she's crying and stuff like that. I lost it at that point. When I saw the snot just running down her nose, I was like, it's right up your nose.
Need a tissue.
like wipe this on your arm or something, man. But I was like,
blow your nose.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you think you're about to die? I guess I wouldn't worry about that either.
For fuck's sake!
It's Harrison.
God damn it, Harrison!
And we're muting him.
He knows we're fucking recording.
Yeah, but he has to set up for the crock pot.
Great. Now our listeners get to see how we treat all our friends.
All right. Talk about the next couple movies. I'll let him in real fast.
No, lock him out.
Oh my god.
He had his chance.
I know.
Well, listeners, Cody's now letting in our friend Harrison. Harrison, if you're listening to this, I suggested that we locked you out. But yeah, so continue going forward. You know, we were talking about Blair Witch Project, and for me, when I saw Blair Witch, I think I was just in middle school, or I was in like 5th grade, and it was like on IFC, and it scared the living shit out of me because it was so surreal and it felt so raw at the time because it wasn't anything that I've ever seen before.
Yeah, and I'm back. Sorry.
No, it's cool. You told me to fucking talk, and then you're just like, go ahead, Matt. And you're like, I'm just going to interrupt now.
Well, would you have rather that or Harrison just going, hey guys, I got the food here?
He's going to come in and say it anyways.
I know. Well, I told him that we're recording and he needs to be quiet, so. Listeners, you might hear some rumbling in the background.
So you may hear awkward laughing from Harrison just going, so sorry, I'm a little upset with him because he promised me that we would stop by to get food in Johnson's Corner on the way up, and I like passed out for like a minute, woke up, literally saw him driving by the exit, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, oh wait, what? And I'm like, don't act like you didn't plan that shit. I can tell you planned it. Now my phone's going off.
Oh man, this is Halloween. That's your ringtone?
Yeah, because we gotta do that Halloween promo.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, but fucking, made me so angry because it's the second time we've driven up here, and the first time that he cheated me out of food, we were coming up here late, and he's just like I told him, I was like, yeah, let's get something to eat on the way over to pick me up. And he's like, hey, sorry, man, I had to stop by McDonald's to get something to eat. And I'm like, what the fuck about me? I haven't eaten either. And then we're going to stop somewhere and grab something. And he's just like, I'm like, stop acting like you didn't do it on purpose. I'm done with this episode. Fuck it.
This episode's ruined.
No, but I was saying is when I first saw Blair Witch, how raw it was because it wasn't like anything I've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Where like I watched a lot of slashers, which real quick I want to make just a quick correction on episode I think it was like 6 or 5 where I said there wasn't a lot of slashers in the 90s. That was my mistake. There was a shitload, and I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, there was a lot of slashers.
But no, the point being is that I haven't seen anything like Blair Witch. You never seen anything that real, that vulnerable in a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why people love the genre, because it makes you feel so vulnerable because you're in the person's like space.
And it's like, and it makes you feel like you're holding the camera. So like, I definitely got the appeal from it. I honestly like the found footage genre a lot. I do, because like I feel more immersed in it than when like I'm watching something from like the third person perspective and everything. Well,
and like if we're talking about immersion, let's talk about like how Paranormal Activity came out and like basically brought back the same fear that Blair Witch Project, started with. I mean, everybody was pretty aware of these movies, but what was like, so I'll get into how like they marketed in a second, but like they did a really good job at immersing you in that story because you would see the couple sleeping.
Yep.
And it's like you're the only one awake. Like you're standing in the room watching everything happen, and you're watching this couple get terrorized by a demon.
Yeah, and like also again, so the thing that I also liked about the original Paranormal Activity, I hated the rest, but the first one was so good also because it was also really low budget. Like I found when it comes to these found footage films, like the low budget is what actually kind of makes it, because like they do so much.
Oh yeah, well with
such little funding that once like the Paranormal Activity movies like took off and they started like getting more money, more of a budget, and started trying to throw in all this like extra shit and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, it kind of ruined it. And I also feel like it, again, with just Paranormal Activity, just the story in general, what ruined it is like instead of just like this girl being haunted by a demon and their family, it was like it turned into like this witch cult, and it was like, you're just trying to relink to the Blair Witch Project now, aren't you? And it's like, no.
It should have just stopped with the third movie. Because the third one was...
I don't even think they should have done any sequels. They should have just left it at the first one.
Here's the thing. I feel like the third one was a solid origin story for the sisters, and that's how it should have ended, is with the sisters. Because the second one did just as good as the first one. Probably a little more terrifying than the first one.
I couldn't get into the second one. Me and Michael... we were just talking about...
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
we were just talking about how we would, like, bang Megan Fox and Olivia Wilde in different sections. We were so drunk, dude.
Don't blame the liquor.
I am going to blame the liquor. It was that, and also we wanted to ruin it for our buddy James so much, because he was like, it's such a good movie. And we were like, we're going to ruin this for you.
Why gotta be so mean? Why can't let him just enjoy it for, like, the hour and a half?
No. That's just how we roll. We do the same to Harrison.
Yeah, because Harrison cheats me out of fucking food.
So
look, I have like 3 pillars of a person that make me up who I am. One of those pillars that you do not shake is my food. When I promise food, you just don't get in the fucking way of my... I told my wife I wanted a divorce once. I got that serious. I mean, we didn't. We're cool. We still love each other. But she understands that my connection with food is a very personal and intimate thing.
Alright, I guess get back on track. But that was my whole, but that was my whole thing with it. Like, okay, so like, I enjoyed the first Paranormal Activity, and then like I actually liked when Cloverfield came out. Again, that was kind of okay, so there was Paranormal Activity, and I don't remember if there's any other like found footage films really released between then and Cloverfield.
Oh, there was, but I feel like Cloverfield and Paranormal Activity, like those were the major ones.
No, and Quarantine, that was a pretty decent one, but that was a remake of Wreck.
Yeah.
But I guess American found footage films, because Wreck was
these were the ones that really got more attention, that really stirred buzz. Because like going real quick back to like Paranormal Activities, like their marketing made sense because they made people demand it. Yeah. Which like, because it was like, what is this movie? Why do we have to demand this to be in theaters? Why can't it just be in a theater? It was smart. Because there's obviously more intense, gory movies than that were already being put in theaters, but then to be like, this is some shit that you shouldn't be seeing, you have to demand it or else we can't release it. Yeah. It was smart. It was a smart idea.
Yeah. And one thing I also liked about it was the fact that they had 3 different endings, and they got shown at 3 different times. Mm-hmm. Because like...
then everybody was arguing about it.
Which one was better and stuff like that. Yeah. And that's why I think the success of that one. And then when it came to Cloverfield... their marketing was fantastic for that one.
Oh, too. Yeah. Because you had... it was the ambiguity. It was just
a countdown.
Yeah.
That was it. We didn't know it was going to be a found footage film or what. No. It was a monster movie, but it was just a countdown. Because I remember seeing the very first trailer for it when I was in theater. The first time I saw it in theaters, like the trailer for it, it was just like everyone... it was just pitch black. Bunch of running and screaming like, oh my god! And then a headless Statue of Liberty. Yeah. And then a countdown
the head
to its release
that's
date.
Right. Because it was intense. Mm-hmm. That was an intense trailer.
Mm-hmm. And I remember when I first saw it, like our old friend Arturo almost threw up mid screening.
A lot of people ended up throwing up, and a lot of people walked out because they got sick.
And I was loving it. I was just like, I don't see why everyone's getting hit. And I was like, oh, that person got sick over there.
It's because they used way too much shaky cam, which I'll admit that movie has way too much of it.
Yeah, I definitely understood that. But I guess after talking about those, I guess those are like 2 really good examples of like why people hate and why people love those movies.
Well, let's take it more to like an underground feel of like who I think, I don't know if you agree, but I feel like this series really cemented of how you can do it perfect, which is the VHS series.
Oh, I love that series.
Which was also made by Bloody Disgusting, the beautiful, beautiful website Bloody Disgusting.
They do such good movies.
That's actually how I found out about the information for McPherson Tape, was through their website, and I'm like, no fucking way.
Oh, speaking of, sorry, just kind of backtracking again. Did you ever see Poughkeepsie Tapes?
Yeah, I saw that with you.
Oh yeah, that's right. I showed you.
I watched that with you.
That movie had a really strange coming direction for it, because wasn't it just word of mouth? Well, no. Okay, yeah. Because how it started out was that it actually had a trailer in the theaters. Because when I went and saw, I think it came out around the time that Hills Have Eyes came out, the remake. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I just remember seeing a movie.
The only way I knew about it is that you told me about it. I had no idea it existed until then.
Well, what happened was that I remember seeing trailers for it in the theater with my dad, and then nothing about it. I never even saw a trailer for it. Because I remember seeing the trailer, and then it got cut. It never got released in theaters because of the content, and they couldn't tell if it was real or not. Like, it was one of those. Yeah. Again, it was, and especially when the internet was like, I wouldn't say it's like full potential and everything, but it was like a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
To where you can actually research those things, and then it just never released in theaters, and then I had to like download it off a torrent to see it. Like, they did a really good job, but everyone knew about it.
Yeah.
So I think like
because everybody was talking about it, like, this is legit about a serial killer. This is his actual stuff.
Yeah, they were saying it's legitimately a snuff film.
Yeah.
So I thought like the marketing for that was really
Which, like, it's not a terrifying film, but it's definitely unsettling.
Yeah, like I felt uncomfortable through the whole watch, even knowing that it was fake.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Which VHS did you say you didn't see?
I haven't seen the most recent one.
The third one?
Yeah.
It's okay.
So, like, I really like the first one. The second one I felt like is the best.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially with the backstory outside of seeing the tapes.
Oh, the tape that got me the most is the one with the cult.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ! When that dude,
I don't want
explodes.
I don't want to give it away, but it was so fucking intense, and that one, like, and they did it so well because it wasn't too shaky cammed. It told the story. You were able to connect with the characters. You were able to see all the characters and who was in the story still.
Yeah,
like I feel like if we get a resurgence of found footage, they need to take tips from VHS.
Yeah, and I think the other thing with found footage films, why that one did so well, it was that it wasn't just a continuous shot.
Yeah.
Because it was told through small mini... was like they're mini-series.
Yeah,
pretty much. And I think that's how found footage film like could be really successful.
Oh, it was a smart idea. It was a unique way to do it. And like that's usually one of the biggest reasons why people hate found footage is because it's the same recycled storyline.
Yeah.
And VHS
it's a party, and then shit hits the fan, and then everyone's dead.
Which, like, fun fact, I think it's the first one, the one with the succubus.
I love that. That's my favorite.
That's a standalone film now.
Dope.
I haven't seen it.
That was so
but
good. It's
not found footage.
Well, I still want to see it.
No, yeah, I do too. Right. But they made her character into a standalone film.
That's cool because she did great.
Yeah,
like, she was. Whew. Like when she like finally turned into it, I was like, "Holy shit!"
And it doesn't help. It doesn't help the fact that she's cute because I'm like, I'd let her kill me. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, she could bite my neck out." I mean, literally, just rip up my throat.
I had a good run, but
worth it.
Yep. But I guess, but yeah, no, I really like those moves, and also the other one that I liked out of those ones was the alien abduction.
Yeah, that one was intense.
I was just like,
especially when he's in the lake. I'm just like,
and you see the alien.
Holy shit!
Like, dude, I almost shit myself. I was like, oh my god!
So that's the thing that grabs your feet when you're swimming.
Yep.
it's aliens the entire time.
It's not some little sea anemone. It's like an alien going bloop.
Jiggle, 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 jiggle.
I'm here, guys. You want to come down here and talk? I'm so lonely.
Mind if I take on your butthole?
Yeah, I'm so lonely. My best friend, old Greg's down here.
Oh, Greg!
Oh, Greg!
There's like a small handful of people that get that reference.
And you're my new best friends.
You can come hang out with us.
All right, I guess we should go into like
why people hate this genre, which are some pretty good arguments.
Yeah, one we touched on is that it can make people feel nauseous from all the shaky cam.
Cloverfield.
And another one we talked about was also it's hard to connect with the main characters, especially because like one of the main characters is someone who's holding the camera.
Well,
so like.
Well, and the best example I can make of that is this one movie. It was I forget what it was called, but it was about this like film crew interviewing a werewolf, a vampire, and then I think like a demon, or a chick who's possessed by a demon. And it was really hard to connect with the characters in that one, just because like you barely ever saw any of them. and it made all of them really disposable.
Yeah.
Which
that's
go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was agreeing with that. That's what can really draw you out from it.
Well, so talking about like disposable characters, it's like in Cloverfield. As much as we like that movie, a lot of the characters were one dimensional. They didn't really hit. Like you had the one chick who was just like a bitch just because she's a bitch.
Yeah.
No one they never really gave a reason why she just
blows up.
Fucking best death of the entire movie because it's so intense.
Yeah.
But like they just make her just a bitch for no reason. Like they don't really give any background, so there's no reason to connect with her. Mm-hmm. There's no real reason to connect with the main character either.
No, I mean, I forget his name, but the guy that was holding...
Well, that's the thing. The fact that we can't remember his name is the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it's still a fun movie. It's a good movie. It's like, a unique idea.
And it's cool seeing basically seeing a Godzilla film from the actual people's point of view.
Right.
Like a Godzilla-like film.
Yeah, but that's what makes it hard is that it just if you make characters in these movies that are just one-dimensional, that are just meant to be cannon fodder, then there's like no reason to emotionally invest.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also they kind of do like one thing that that's here is like cheap thrills at the cost of a character's survival.
Yeah, so like going back to Cloverfield again, so you know like when they're running in the subway tunnel?
Yeah.
The dude like takes the time to pick up the camera.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of my big gripes with that is I'd be like, oh shit, no, we need the camera.
Well, and there's no reason. Like they don't make any logical reason for him to have it.
No.
Unless he taped knives to the camera for some reason. He just stab.
The only movie where I saw like
TJ Miller. The reason I know that is because he's from Colorado.
I love TJ Miller.
And I'm really disappointed with him because he starred in the Emoji Movie.
Yeah, and he said that's one of his reasons why he left
Colorado?
Silicon Valley, the show Silicon Valley. Because he was doing the Emoji Movie, and then he was starting to do more of a movie career. I'm like,
come on, TJ. It's cool if you want to go into movies, just don't lower yourself to the Emoji Movie.
No, you went from Transformers to the Emoji Movie.
We liked you in Transformers.
Even though you died.
You shouldn't have died.
I don't think you were the best part of that Transformers.
That would have saved the entire movie, as if you were the hero.
Yeah.
Just like cynically criticizing everything the entire
time. One of my other gripes with the found footage films is it never explains. Okay, so like it's all called found footage, but like in almost all of them, when the heroes die in the end, the main characters die or whatever. Like Quarantine, for instance. Well, okay, so going back on like the camera, like why they need the camera. Quarantine made sense was because they have the night vision. So like they needed to see, so they could see when they're in the attic and stuff like that. They needed the camera. So but like the other thing that I always get like flustered with those movies is it never explains where the fucking footage is found. Like I know it's like found footage, but like when the final scene of almost all those movies is in a whole entire scenario where there's no one's going to be like, oh hey look, a camera, let's see what's on it. Like Quarantine. Like, it would make sense if, like, it started... I feel like it would make more sense if it started off from, like, a third-person view of, like, it shows, like, the fucking government putting the film in to watch it to see what happened in there. Because, like, that was the whole thing about Quarantine, was that it was all government...
Well, yeah, and the FBI is just, like, not letting any of the evidence get out, so you'd be watching it through the FBI agents.
Yeah, and
then... Fucking eyes.
Cloverfield, for instance, doesn't explain how they found that film... Because the very last image is them and the camera being fucking eaten by
it's actually the alien himself. He has his own.
He's just laying in the field watching like
I love this part.
He's like, look at these little bitches.
Oh my god, she popped like a pimple. Oh, this is so great.
This is so great. Oh, I'm in it. There's me.
That's me. I'm famous.
That's me. Hey, look, I just swatted down a helicopter.
You see this? Yes, Greg, we see you.
Look, I'm such a badass.
You've shown us the same tape 10 times now.
I know, but this is the highlight of my life.
Did you see how I threw the Statue of Liberty's head? That was really cool, right? Yes, Greg, it was really cool.
You're so cool, Greg. I know.
Yeah.
Now, hand me that PBR.
Birdie! Dilly dilly! You know who you are.
Lauren.
Oh, God.
And then, I guess things that we... now going from the negatives to our positives, like what people loved about it, and like we did touch on, is the fact that it's a break from the normal third-person horror films.
Yeah,
like,
being chased down by like Jason or fucking Mike Myers, which there's nothing wrong with that, but when you see the same carbon copy in other films, like you're not scared because you know they're gonna die. You know the person is gonna die,
and you know the guy's gonna pop out from around this corner, or they're gonna do the fake scare out where they're like, "Is he behind this door?" No, it's just a kitty cat, and then the killer's behind you.
But like the thing with found footage, it's like who is going to survive?
Yeah,
because usually in these movies, it's not just one person. It's either no one survives or it's a group of people.
Yeah,
like it's 0 to 3 usually.
Mm-hmm.
And so that it's seeing if they can survive. They're smart enough to learn how to survive. Is what makes it really exciting.
Yeah, and then another thing is like what I touched on, the fact that most of the time found footage films are on a low budget, so they end up telling a better story in the scenarios and stuff.
Oh yeah, it gives directors the space to be creative.
Like even though I don't think it was like one of the best movies, but George A. Romero's Diary of the Dead.
Yeah,
that whole found footage zombie, like that's cool. Like I thought that was cool. Like actually seeing an entire zombie outbreak through the whole city from the found footage. I thought that was really clever. I liked it too. It wasn't like my favorite George A. Romero zombie movie, but it was good, especially for straight to DVD.
Well, if
it was done really well.
Oh yeah, and if we're talking about like being creative, let's go back to Paranormal Activity. It was filmed in the director's house.
Yep.
With I think just like one expensive camera, and that's it.
Yeah, I think it was one. That was the bulk of their cost was the camera.
Yeah, but it was in his house, and yet he made this phenomenal film that shook the horror industry and like got people talking on a wide scale. Well, like because it shows like if the genre is in the right hands, then the movie's going to be great.
Yeah.
But if it's just someone who's just trying to make a cheap thrill, then it's what's the point?
Yeah. So that was really good. Also, the point of view style is really good because like we talked about earlier, was immersion. Like you feel really immersed in it because like you're seeing it from those eyes, so it's almost like you're living it.
Yeah, because like if really any other standard film, like you're seeing it kind of like at a distance, like you're the third person. But like when you're in the victim's like shoes, and you're seeing it come right at you, like it would come at them.
Yep.
It's way more vulnerable because it brings up this like this defensive nature to fight back, but you can't.
Nope, because you're watching a movie,
which makes it more vulnerable, which makes it more terrifying, which goes back to like what the thrill.
Yeah, I mean, like what a cool thing that I felt. This is my own personal opinion with the found footage films is like it. I think one reason why they did so successful.
This whole thing is our personal opinion. I know,
but I don't know if you share this opinion with me. Because like also when they started becoming more and more famous, like with I wouldn't say maybe not Blair Witch, but Paranormal Activity, Cloverfield. That was also when like the big boom in like hardcore first person shooters and video games came out. Like Call of Duty was really taking off and everything.
Yeah.
Because like Modern Warfare came out in 2009, I think.
Something like that.
And like that was huge, and it's a first person experience, and I think that's also what kind of like had people leaning towards seeing these movies was because like, well, I can do it in the video games and stuff like that. Let's see how it turns out with the movie.
Yeah.
So that's the one I really liked about it. Well, that's one of the reasons why I started getting into it. It was because of that.
I think for me, it was what I like about it is that it forces your imagination to run wild. So, like, again, going back to Paranormal Activity, which I know we've come back to a lot.
Because the first one did so well.
Well, because it didn't show you anything that was happening.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it.
But it led you, because every night in that movie, something else would happen. And so you start to freak out once, that clock in the movie hits 3 a.m., you start to freak out and think, what is going to happen now? Yep. Is the demon going to appear? Is the bed going to light on fire? What is going to happen?
Yeah. And
so when something does happen, you don't expect it, and it terrifies you even more. Where it's like, oh, I see Jason, he's chasing, on the upside, I should say, is Jason chasing down this teenager. He's probably going to just, like, shove a hockey stick through his face.
You like hockey masks? Well, hip dick. And then he tears her head.
Skewed virgin. But and that's what I love about it, is that it makes you try to figure out what's going to happen next, because it just makes your imagination run wild. And it even, like, again, that also leads into, like, how it blurs the line of fiction and reality. Because it's I mean, obviously, for watching Paranormal Activity, some of that stuff's going to be fake.
Oh, yeah.
But when you see, like, Blair Witch Project...
Yeah.
Like,
you're like, fuck. Like,
you don't know what is, at the time, you don't know what is real. You know, I mean, you can obviously go into these movies and be like, oh, it's going to be fake. But, again, if it's done right, if it's directed right, you don't know what is real.
No, you don't.
Like, even though you're going to be like, it's fake, like, you still feel like...
the realism from it, because you're seeing it from this person's view. Like, it's not like the fixed camera or anything. You're seeing it from someone's view, and the way it's filmed, it's great.
Well, and I would even go on to say that, you know, it's like, so let's talk about Cannibal Holocaust, where it's like they had actual animal killings. It's like, I feel like maybe for some people, like, are we going to bring that back for these movies and actually kill something for real, do something for real that terrifies the audience?
Yeah. And
that leads into the fear. I mean, obviously, it can't. Legally, it can't. They're not going to do that, but it's the thought of that, you know, which is why, and then that goes back into, like, imagination running wild.
Yeah.
So, I think if I had to make a statement, or make a choice on whether we should have found footage films back or not, I think that there's always a place for it in horror, and I think it's due for a comeback, but I think it needs to be in the hands of directors and people that are going to care about it and are going to make something that generally terrifies you. Because if we had something in the style of VHS, there's another one that I really like. I always forget the fucking name of it, but it was a huge cult hit, and it took place in an insane asylum that was being Grave Encounters.
Yeah, Grave Encounters. That was my favorite of all time.
I still haven't watched it yet. I know what you're talking about.
Oh my god, it's so good. And so, okay, with that series, it's not only my favorite paranormal movie, it was my favorite found footage, because, like, it shits all over those fucking ghost hunters and everything, which is so good, because, like, they have it's semi-spoiler, but they have a guy who's a medium, and he talks like, I can feel the presence, blah, 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 here.
You mean, like, it shits on, like, all the con artists.
Well, and ghost hunters in general, it kind of pokes fun of all of them, because one of the main characters, he claims he's a medium, but when the camera is off, quote-unquote, off for the show... Because, like, they're supposed to be filming a show when they're in this insane asylum.
Okay.
Like, when the camera goes off, like, the main character runs up to him and he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, dude, I can really feel presence here. And he's like, you're not even a medium. We pay you to say that. Like, shit like that. But
you hear that Zach Baggins were on to you. I gotta hope Erin hears that.
Oh, I can't wait for Erin to hear that.
Text me. It's like, don't you dare throw hate on my man.
You know what? He's phony. No, actually, I don't know Zach Baggins, so
you know what?
You're probably a great person in real
life.
Fight
me, Erin. Fight me. Do it. Text me right now.
She'll shit on your car.
You won't. Good. I hope she does. Give me a reason to go clean my car.
Yeah, you know what? I want to record it this time, Erin, if you do that. So I'm just saying.
I really do hope she texts me that she's gonna shit on my car now if she's listening to this.
But that was one thing that I really liked about that movie too. But so when it comes to found footage films, also is that I feel like in a series. So this was the biggest part with Grave Encounters that I hated when they came out the second one. It started off found footage again, and then it takes a weird left turn to where, like, it's not anymore.
Yeah, I heard the second one wasn't as good.
It was nowhere near as good, because they do some found footage parts and then some not, which kind of ruins the effect of it.
Yeah.
Because, like, what they did with Grave Encounters 2 was they kind of took it along, I guess the Blair Witch Project, I think, did it, where the first one is actually a movie inside the second one.
Yeah.
I think it was Blair Witch. I can't remember. But you know how some movies do that? Or Scream. The Scream movies.
I get what you mean.
Okay,
I think
it was the first one, and then some of the sequels were like, well, Scream was actually a movie inside this one. I think they did that, but that's what the second one was like. And it turns out, the first one actually happened within that universe.
Yeah. And
it wasn't just a random film.
No, yeah.
So,
I got you.
But that's what I mean is like for those to do really well. In my opinion, I think I actually think found footage films, the best ones ever are those with low budgets, because Grave Encounters didn't have a huge budget. You could tell in the CGI with some of the ghosts, but it was still effective in how they did it. But I honestly enjoy more of the like straight to DVD or Netflix releases like VHS and stuff like that. I think they do better than these big screen adaptations. As much as I liked Cloverfield, I think it could have been a lot better if they never showed the monster.
Yeah.
Like ever. Until the sequel, or like Paranormal Activity, which had the budget of a straight to DVD, but the demand was so high.
No, yeah. I think we should probably get to our final statement so we can get to our stories for this week.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of...
No, it's cool. That's the whole point of it. Like, this is a good subject.
Yeah.
I think we had a lot more to say about this than we thought we did.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
and if we didn't get rudely interrupted.
I know, right? He's just fucking staring at us. Harrison, do you want to say hi to everyone?
Hi.
Don't pay attention to him.
He said it's so hurt. Hi. They let me out of the cellar every now and then.
So hey, it's just because Matt's still salty about not getting his food.
Come give me my fucking food.
I had to take him to Taco Bell, Harrison.
I bit Lauren once. I swear to God, I bit her once.
Food right now.
We gave you the chance to say hi. That doesn't mean you can keep talking. I'm kidding.
Yeah, that was Harrison. You probably have seen him in some of our pictures and stuff like that.
If you've been on our Twitter, you saw him when we went out drinking.
Yeah.
I mean, making responsible choices going to the library.
No, we were drinking.
By library, I mean bar.
And by reading books, I mean drinking lots of alcohol.
God, those chicks playing Smash Bros were really bitchy.
I know. We were okay. So sorry. Another quick side note. So we were at the bar, like celebrating our going live and everything, and so these chicks were playing Smash Bros.
They were playing Melee, and like one chick was playing as Kirby, and she was doing a fantastic job.
Yeah. And so me and Matt decided we were gonna do commentary and pretend like it's a WWE match.
And we got really into it, and she had it was like she was on her last life, and the person she was playing was like as Fox or Pikachu on their last life. And pulled out a Hail Mary, beat him, and I'm just like, yeah, way to go, Kirby!
Kirby takes the title, and they all just stared at us like we were just assholes.
And I'm just like, I just cheered you on. I said, good job, not let me impregnate you. What the fuck was that all about? You can't take a goddamn compliment. And she just fucking stared at me. I'm like, fuck you, fine. I'm glad. I hope you suck at Smash Bros from now on.
Yeah, I hope you lose every match,
bitch. Watch someone's gonna be like, why do they have to say thank you? I'm not saying you have to say thank you. Just don't give me a fucking mean look when I cheer you on.
Yeah, seriously, you could just giggle. That would have been great. Or laugh.
Or just say, hey, thanks, guy. Yeah. I appreciate your support. It's not like I want to make out. I'm fucking married, bitch. Oh, God. Every other chick is fine, but she was just mean.
Just her.
I didn't like it because she's mean.
She had that kind of face.
She had a very unsympathetic hand job face.
Just a sad hand job. I guess I'm just gonna do this now. Alright.
It's no Smash Bros. But I guess what's your statement on found footage films?
I'd like to see another resurgence. I feel like the best way for those movies to come back would be more of around the cult style. Like a cult film style. Because
VHS.
Yeah, VHS, Grave Encounters. Mostly because I don't know, it sucks because it's becoming such a huge fucking fad now that movies are actually big budget films are starting to kind of ruin it in the sense of they're making films to be a cult film. They don't want the huge box office smash or anything anymore. They're we're gonna spend all this money on it just so it does shitty in the box office, but fans will fucking love it, or they're just gonna find a small niche.
Is there a movie in particular?
I know some people liked it, but Happy Death Day.
The fuck was that one?
So this chick dies on her birthday. She relives her birthday. She keeps dying on it, and she has to try and figure out why she keeps dying and who.
Oh, that one! That. I know what you're talking about.
It was straight up made to be because all the media coverage of it beforehand and its marketing was to make it look like this intense, scary, like bring back slasher genre. Like,
Yeah, no, I got
and
you
then
saying.
it turned out to be super cheesy and corny. Like, I feel like if they marketed it like that, it would have been better. But like, it was straight up made so it'd be a cult hit instead
forgot
of
it
like
came out
an
by
actual
accident.
movie. See, like, and I'm not helping the case by talking about it. But like stuff like that, that's where I don't like that. But I think found footage is one of those genres that it would work really well.
We don't need movies like Unfriended.
Oh my god.
That, I will say right now, that movie is fucking garbage. You know what? That's what we should do for a bonus episode for our Patreon subscribers.
I don't.
It's just
watch
tearing apart movies.
I could do. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think we'll do.
Let us know if you want to hear us do that.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll give you as a bonus episode when you're waiting for episodes to come out, guys. The episode you can listen to in between weeks is that we will tear apart a bad horror film and just mutilate it.
Yeah, and if you have any suggestions for us to watch,
I
guess watch. But like,
I've watched Gingerbread Man versus Evil Bong once, and that is all. I'm never doing it again. There's no fucking way I'm sitting through that garbage fire ever again. God.
I like the first Ginger Dead Man mostly because it's Gary Busey.
I don't even care.
I think it's so fucking funny.
No, it's so fucking bad.
Or like,
so bad.
or Thanksgiving.
That's funnier.
It's so fucking
At
funny
least
when
it's funny.
the turkey's fucking that girl doggy style. She's getting all into it till she turns around and is a fucking
like,
gangster. No, it's a gangster ass turkey's like, you just got stuffed.
Yes. See, that was actually funny. But oh my god, Gingerbread Man versus Evil Bong is so damn bad.
All right, let's get into our stories before you go off on a tangent about it.
But seriously though, fuck Unfriended.
Yeah, I refuse to even watch that movie.
Why doesn't anyone unplug their fucking computer?
No.
There's just no goddamn reason for it. All right. Do you want to? I don't think he gave us he doesn't want us to share his name, but I can do my wife, and you can do.
We're gonna find that on here.
It says horror story.
Patreon.
I know Patreon messages a lot.
I noticed. About your podcast, John.
It's like right before my dad, at the bottom.
Oh, let's go way back.
It's on 11/18.
Is it him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to do him, and I'll do one
I'll
of
do
Lauren's? Because Lauren has like 4 she sent in.
Okay, I'll do our buddy.
All right, so take it away.
All right, so this is from a really close friend of ours. He didn't want his name mentioned. He likes his anonymity.
So we're gonna give him a name.
Yep.
We will call him Fuzzy Toes.
All right, this is from Fuzzy Toes. You know what's sad? He probably does have fuzzy toes.
He's
I
a
don't
hairy
think
guy.
I've ever actually seen his feet, but
He's definitely gives Robin Williams a run for his money.
Yeah, I know. Oh, rest in peace, Robin Williams.
R.I.P.
Yeah, you were an inspiration. Anyway, so Fuzzy Toes. Totally takes it out of the story. Alright.
Poor Fuzzy Toes.
Poor Fuzzy Toes. Oh no.
God. Okay, well,
Right.
we give him a real name.
Give me Billy. Your name is
Billy.
Billy Fuzzy Toes.
Billy.
Oh my god, Billy! Maybe you should shave your toes, then you wouldn't be called Fuzzy Toes at school.
Billy. That's all I'm just gonna say to him today. All right, go. Just go.
Okay. All right, Billy. This happened when I was still living at my parents' house between middle school through high school.
Speak up like a little more.
Oh my god. I'll even hold up the phone then. This was our first house for my sister and I. We were getting used to the noises of an old house, which made sleeping hard for the first couple weeks. Then we started getting used to the noises after a while. That's when new noises started up, and they were only in the attic. At first, we were told they were raccoons that had gotten in the attic, but after an inspection, there is no way that raccoons could have gotten in here. Then the sounds coming from the attic started sounding like heavy footsteps, going at a slow pace, walking from one end of the attic to the other.
There was just no way.
It was just, no way. Do you know the way? For the next week, it continued like that till one night it sounded like there was stomping up there. It couldn't be ignored at this point anymore. It even started to get the dogs jumpy. The next day, the attic was investigated again, and while we were looking around to see what could have been making all that noise, we found nothing at all that could be the source of all the noise. Trying to forget what happened, I borrowed the old school boombox from my sister and listened to the radio while trying to calm down. That's when the radio slider started changing stations on its own, and it couldn't have been on its own. The slider was old and took force to slide it, and it was the same thing with the buttons. I unplugged it as quick as I could and pulled the batteries out so it couldn't keep going. After 30 or so seconds, it started on the boombox again. I took it outside as quick as I could and threw it hard at the concrete. From then on, every time we heard footsteps in the attic, we knew something was going to happen. It kept going that way for years until we finally moved out. That's a real Paranormal Activity movie.
Well, and I hung out at his house before, and there's some definitely weird stuff that's going on there. Because I remember one night, at least, it's either a stepdad. If it's not a stepdad at the time, then it was definitely terrifying because I was staying the night, and like it was when I was younger, and like I remember like I was just watching TV because I couldn't fall asleep at other people's houses when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And then just like, you know, I saw this shadow appear in the doorway through the TV reflection, and it just stood there for the longest time. And then I don't really remember much else from that. So either that was an actual person, or...
Well, I mean, this is like the thing that's also a little unnerving for me about this story is this is coming from one of our friends who's someone who does not believe in this kind of stuff like at all.
No, he's like, straight up outspoken. Skeptical. He's an outspoken atheist.
Yeah. And so like any kind of paranormal thing and stuff like that, he's just like, yeah, go fuck yourself, like type person.
Yeah, but that like and like his sister and his mother told me about some of the stuff that's happened at that house, paranormal wise, and I'm trying to see if we can get another story from them because it's really good stuff. Like to hear about. I mean, at the time, obviously, it was terrifying for them to go through, and I want it to seem like we're exploiting them because we're not. But it's just like it's stuff that you would have seen in Paranormal Activity.
Yeah,
and just hearing about it, it just I don't know. It's really surreal. So I mean, but they don't live there anymore. So who's ever there now has to deal with all this stuff. Suckers,
bitches,
gotcha. So we're at what is it, hour and 3 minutes.
Okay.
So Lauren sent like 2. There's a this one's a shorter one, and I'll do the longer one next time. I think.
Yeah.
So I mean I don't know. I can do the longer one now.
No, let's hold the longer one for now.
All right, I'll say that for like episode 9.
Yeah.
So. Okay, here it is.
I was like, anytime now. I'm out.
All right, so yeah, my wife sent us this one when we were at this haunted house, or haunted home, not house. Sorry. There was this little girl.
No wonder she was scared because it was made to be scared.
Boogity boogity boogity. There was this little girl and man haunting this place. And real quick, I want to put in that Lauren used to be, is a medium. She's like had out of body experiences where like she's had things with red eyes just staring at her, and she's she's had a lot of experiences, so she's prone to this kind of stuff. She walked inside this house. Sorry, I'm fucking everything up.
Now it's ruined.
So I'm just gonna say it as her. So we walked inside, and now I go to this house where it was a child's room fixed with x-rays and MRI files. Off to a great start.
Yeah.
Of a patient from the 70s, even better, who had a brain tumor.
There it is.
When we started to leave, the girl was standing in front of the mirror, and there was a demonic growl, and then all of a sudden she vanished. And I actually remember her telling me about this, like, when she left that house, she was, it was extremely cold. And I know in a lot of paranormal hauntings, when there's a temperature change in the room, that usually means something is in there. And so she said it was freezing in that room, in that house. And when she left, like, she looked back, and I think this was the one that she was talking about where she could see something staring at her through the window of that room.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, she came to Colorado.
He's like, nope, I'm done with this place.
Fuck you, Nebraska.
We're going to the mountains.
I'm outie. Fuck this.
I'm done. I'm out.
Peace. So, yeah, those are our stories for the week. We'd like to read more, but we need to hear from you listeners.
Yeah.
So please send us all your creepy stories at punkrockhorrorpodcast@gmail.com.
And if you have any, and if there's any troubles like with the email, like trying to remember the email or anything, check us out on Facebook. The email's on there.
Yeah, our Twitter.
And then our Instagram.
We're always active on our Twitter. We're trying to, I don't know, how's Instagram going?
A little better now that I'm going to start like just taking random pictures and stuff.
I know, now that we understand how to connect social media wise.
Yeah, that'll pick up a lot better there.
Please consider supporting us on Patreon. We'd love to be able to bring you guys episodes where we just trash and tear apart bad horror movies.
Yeah.
Or even talk about directors. But I really want to talk about horror movies because I really want to rip into Unfriended. But please support us. We have, 2 tiers, a $2 tier and a $4 tier. Please consider going on there. Let us know if you'd like to see us on a Twitch stream, play some video games with us. What else are we forgetting? Oh yeah, subscribe. Give us 5 stars on iTunes. We're on Spotify now. We're on Google Play. We're on Stitcher. We're on YouTube. Go like us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yep.
Yeah, also want to give a shout out to Megan again. She's making up some really great cover art for us.
Yeah.
It's taken a while, but you can't rush things like this.
No, and we saw the rough drafts, and they look fantastic.
Yeah, we're really excited. So shout out to her. Check her out. Give her a shout out. She will do some amazing work for you. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
You're going to like the way you look.
Get out.
See what I did there?
That ain't natural, but expressive.
I just say 15% or more by switching to... Okay.
I mean, I have Geico, so I can plug that in there.
Last thing I also want to talk about real quick is I don't know, do we think we need to make a statement about what happened?
No, I think we already made a post.
I think the only thing we want to say is
and maybe not, talk about it at the end of the show.
Well, all I want to say is just, be kind to everyone.
Yeah, be kind to everybody. Like, seriously.
We all got to go through this shit world with baggage that we hate.
Yeah, and if, you see someone struggling, with anything, try lend a helping hand. Don't be a dick about it. If you can tell, someone's, having problems financially or whatever, you don't have to be make fun of them or shit like that. Don't be a piece of shit person. Seriously.
Just be kind to each other. Just
yeah.
recommend a punk rock album. Watch a horror movie with someone.
Yeah, anything. Or you just, hey, how's it going? Or just a what's up.
You're trying to. You're just like, hey, how's it going? What's up? What's up?
But no, just be nice, human beings to each other and stuff. And of course, everyone's gonna have differing opinions about things, and you don't need to shoot down each other's throats about it. Understand that everyone has their own opinion, whether their opinion to you is wrong or not. That's how they believe. You don't need to shit all over their bidet about it. Bidet. She didn't get it because that's a butthole cleaner toilet.
But yeah, just take care of each other. Be kind to one another.
Yeah.
So we all got to get through this shit life with the least amount of baggage as possible.
Yeah.
So, all right. So yeah, review us, give us some positive feedback. Thank you again for listening to us. Thank you for supporting us, and we will see you guys on episode number 8.
Which we're talking about.
And